welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, comic books are very enjoyable to read, but very difficult to create. Now, I'm holding one right now. It's titled The Adventures of Captain Blood. It's about the story of Nobel Prize winner, Professor Wole Soyinka, and it's been fun reading it, really. Now, it was created by a team of illustrators and artists. The lead person in that team is Oluwajayi, one of the top fine artists in Nigeria. He sat with me to discuss how they created this book, why they created it the way it is, the whole experience of putting together the drawings and illustrations and putting the book together as a whole. I hope you enjoyed the chat I had with him. Thank you for joining us on the channel's book club. It's a pleasure having you. And well done on this. This must have taken a lot. I've seen a comic series on Nigerian history, but this looks like the first comic book of this type. I'm talking in terms of a comic book that focuses on a famous Nigerian personality.
You're right if you say so. It's the first of its kind, focusing on an individual, chronicling a better part of his life. That's what you see.
Why did you choose this format? It's interesting, I have to say, because I mean, pictures anytime, any day, are gripping, captivating. They're fun.
The important thing here is you will notice that in the history of this country or of this continent, Soyinka is an individual you cannot ignore. And it's important that his history, his role, his exploits are well chronicled for all to understand. And the targeted audience here, it's the children. If you notice also that history is not being taught in most of our schools, and it's important and imperative at this point in time to make sure that that aspect of us is told by us in a very simple language. And so what you have in your hands is a combination of art and literature. Well, the art of comic illustration also is something that we also try to encourage, because that's another avenue of encouraging children to appreciate the fine arts. And so you have a combination of literature and fine art, which is also an aspect of Soyinka that is being celebrated. So that's what you have in your hands there.
It's not just the sheer fun of going through the illustrations. It's also, there's so much content in there about the life and times of Professor Wole Soyinka. So one gets the impression that a lot of research went into this work. Tell me a bit about that.
Well, you're right. A lot of research went into the production of this book. First, you have to get your stories right. The scriptwriter had to read all Soyinka books. You have to also be conversant with Soyinka's language. So when you're writing the dialogue, you have to make sure that it's likely to be what Soyinka would say at a point in time. And we had the College of Illustrators, also very seasoned illustrators that took part in the production. Not just guessing Soyinka's images, but we had over about 3,000 photographs, of different locations and of Soyinka at different ages. So all of that formed the body of materials that we referred to produce and make the sketches and the drawings. But the interesting thing is that it's not just the work of one artist. It's a work of about 6 artists, of which I was leading, and we had people like Paul Jugo in it. We had people like Ido, who are great illustrators. People like Tunde Soyinka also were there.
How long did it take you to do this?
Well, with my background as an artist, a painter, illustrator, It's enormous. I started my first comic experience in 1979, way back in the Nigerian Observer. And then I did a comic magazine at that time, 1980, 81. So the challenge you're facing, first and foremost, you look at, you have to have your idea, the kind of comic you want to produce. If you are interested in that of adventure, you have to do your research properly. You have to get your drawings right if you want to do illustrations in the standard of the foreign comics, where the drawings also matter, in the production.
Somebody's out there wants to do a comic book like this. What kind of challenges should such a person be expecting to face?
The challenges, it depends on your scope, but there's some very basic challenges you face. One is in the area of sponsorship, that is funding, because you will need money to hire illustrators, and it's a full-time job. It's a thing that you have to put a team together and work closely. You have to get your script writers together. You can't, I don't always advise people to write and draw and do everything themselves. It becomes monotonous.
You and your team must have met a Soyinka you did not know before while working on this project. I'm guessing.
Wole Soyinka is an enigma. You can't get used to him. Soyinka is always new. I can tell you that Soyinka is always new. So with this project, we got close to the unseen Soyinka. Here I mean, in his elements. Try to acquaint yourself, immerse yourself in him, but we didn't quite succeed. You can't demystify Soyinka. I can tell you that it's not. It's a work of art. As a journalist, Soyinka is a work of art. It depends on where you're looking at him from. At every point in time, you see a different Soyinka, either in color or even in looks. There are times Soyinka looks like a very dark person, and there are times he looks very light. I'm sure you've noticed that. So, but we're able to dance around that. What we did was to be able to string all of his mannerism from childhood to the age of about 55, and that's what we've seen here. Yeah.
Will you be doing more comic books? I guess that depends on how pleasant or otherwise the experience of putting this together was.
Yeah, well, from this experience, with proper funding, I think we should make more comic books. Nigerian artists and illustrators should get involved. The print should get involved. The electronic also should get involved in all of these things, so that there should be a lot of information out there, education as well, about our heroes, our history being told. I like to see a comic book on maybe a great name like
Chinua Achebe.
Chinua Achebe, Chinua Achebe. J.J. Okocha. Yeah, I like to see things like that happen. I like to see so that we can create icons in our history. I like to see a comic book on not just our antiquated history, contemporary history.
Well, thank you very much once again for joining us, and well done again. Congratulations. As always, it has been fun being your hosts on the channel's book club, and I hope you'll join us again next week. Don't forget, you can always send us your comments and questions on any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.